Welcome to Epic Pen Saga, a world where imagination knows no limits, where legends are reborn, destinies are rewritten, and stories go beyond the boundaries of canon. Here, you'll experience epic fanfictions, powerful reincarnation tales, god systems, magic, strategy, and world-changing protagonists. Today's story is Reborn as Jon Snow with a god system. A tale where Jon Snow is no longer bound by fate, no longer a pawn of prophecy, but a force destined to reshape Westeros itself. Sit back, relax, and immerse yourself in a story where gods watch and the world trembles. Chapter 11. The Path of Mastery. 2 years. That was how long I had spent inside the training dimension of gods. Yet in the real world, only 2 minutes had passed. Time here flowed differently, mercilessly slow, endlessly patient. And within those 2 years, I had lived, trained, failed, learned, and evolved beyond what I once believed possible. When I first entered this place, I was overwhelmed. The god system, the body of Hashirama Senju, the library of infinite knowledge, the dragon egg of Monster Zero, and this very dimension crafted solely for my growth. At the time, it all felt unreal, like a dream borrowed from the gods themselves. But now, standing at the center of this world, I understood the truth. These gifts were not power. They were tools. And power was something I had to earn. My first true breakthrough came with the mastery of a single technique, Shadow Clone Jutsu. A technique born in another world, yet perfectly compatible with my own abilities. With it, I could create perfect copies of myself. Each clone could think independently, train independently, learn independently. And when they dispersed, their memories returned to me. Every lesson, every failure, every insight. My growth no longer followed linear rules. It became exponential. While I trained my body, clones studied magic. While I refined my chakra control, others memorized forbidden knowledge. While I rested, hundreds of versions of myself pushed forward. Time itself became my ally. Recognizing its potential, I immediately assigned a vast number of clones to master one of the most dangerous and versatile arts known to exist, Funyutsu, sealing techniques of the Uzumaki clan. This was not simple magic. Funyutsu could seal chakra, seal weapons, seal souls, and in the right hands, seal concepts themselves. Barriers, suppression arrays, space manipulation, even time could be bent through seals. The deeper I went, the clearer it became. With Funyutsu, almost anything was possible. My first applications were the creation of restriction seals, seals that increased gravity on my body, seals that forced my muscles to move under impossible resistance, seals that turned every breath into a battle. I trained under pressure that would crush ordinary men in seconds, and my body adapted. Strength surged, speed exploded, endurance reached terrifying levels. The limits of humanity no longer applied to me. But shadow clones alone were not enough. I created something stronger. Wood clones. Forged from Hashirama's wood release, these clones were more durable, more stable, and capable of enduring extreme training far longer than normal clones. To them, I assigned a different task, mastering the breathing techniques of the Demon Slayer world. By themselves, these techniques were simple, efficient methods to enhance stamina, strength, and focus. For an ordinary warrior, they were life-changing. For me, they were tools. But tools meant to be passed on, because I saw their true value not in my own hands, but in the hands of my future people. With these techniques, even a farmer could become a warrior, and with warriors like that, I could raise an army unlike anything Westeros had ever seen.
Meanwhile, the dragon egg continued to absorb chakra and magic. Day after day, month after month, I poured my energy into it whenever possible. Even with my vast reserves, it resisted hatching. But I was not worried. I understood the truth. The longer it slept, the stronger it would become. When it emerged, it would not be a dragon of legend. It would be a calamity. My next focus was the mastery of wood style, Hashirama Senju's signature power. At first, it was difficult. Wood style demanded the perfect fusion of earth, water, and yang chakra, absolute balance, absolute control. But time was infinite here, and within a year, I unlocked it. Now, forests rose at my command. Wooden structures formed in seconds, barren land transformed into fertile soil. I could reshape landscapes, create cities, turn frozen wastelands into paradise. This power was not meant for destruction alone. It was meant for creation. Yet even with all this progress, there was one path I had not yet walked. Senjutsu, Sage Mode, the art of drawing natural energy itself. Even with Hashirama's body, this was dangerous. One mistake, and I could turn to stone. So I waited. I chose patience over arrogance. Time was on my side, and I would not rush something that could define my future. As for the Joichiro Saiba template, it stood at 14%. Cooking every dish ever created by one of the greatest chefs in another world was no small task. At first, I laughed. Then I tasted the complexity of his craft. Food was not just sustenance, it was influence. In Westeros, a world of hunger and war, the one who controlled food controlled loyalty. Between training sessions, I studied the ancient magic of Westeros. Old magic, primal magic, magic tied to the land, the trees, the gods that no longer spoke. Through the library of knowledge, I learned rituals, spells, and forgotten incantations. This magic was not refined, but it was powerful, and when combined with Funyutsu, it became something entirely new. Storms answered my call, wards bent to my will, spirits whispered when I listened. My connection to this world deepened. I knew I couldn't stay here forever. The real world awaited me, the 7 kingdoms awaited me, and my path was clear. Beyond the wall, I would build my kingdom. Unclaimed land, harsh land, land full of potential. With wood style, I would make it bloom. With breathing techniques, I would forge warriors. With knowledge, I would unite the wildlings. The wall would no longer divide. It would become a gateway. Standing in the forest I had created, I felt no doubt. I was ready. The world of Game of Thrones would change, and I would be the one to change it. The path ahead was clear, and I would walk it, with strength, with wisdom, and with the certainty that destiny itself was bending to my will. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Reborn as Jon Snow with a God System, right here on Epic Pen Saga. If you enjoyed the story, please like the video, share it with fellow fantasy and anime lovers, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next chapter of this epic journey. Your support keeps these stories alive. Until next time, the saga continues.
If you enjoyed this story, please like the video, share it with fellow fantasy and anime lovers, and subscribe to Epic Pen Saga to continue this journey with me. Thank you for watching.